The name's Ronnie J. Driz, Extraordinary DJ. We do this every weekday from 9 up until 11 with nothing but fantastic music right here on Bogart Radio. Yeah. Bogart Radio is growing so much, man. So I was reading something yesterday and I came across this, and I see the producer put it here as well. So it says that the Tshwane is to build a huge auto assembly precinct, creating over 1,000, in fact 150,000 jobs. Had a Jacob Zuma moment there, but yes, about 150,000 jobs.
Yeah, they want to develop Africa's largest automotive assembly precinct. So we'll be like making cars this side, which might be good, because what does it mean? The price will go down for certain auto vehicles first.
Yes, the price would definitely go down, and because obviously the shipping costs. I don't know how that works. I believe it goes down, but there's also the Chinese. They're bringing in fantastic vehicles that people, not only that they're fantastic, people are loving them.
Yeah.
But I love what they're doing. Hey, this 7,150 hectares that they've got for the project is set to transform the area into a significant industrial hub. In the next 40 to 50 years. I don't know about that because electronic cars are coming through, but okay, cool, we're gonna do that. But here is how it goes down here in South Africa. 150 jobs under one company. Okay, I smell a lot of ghost employees here, because you know us.
Do you think there's gonna be a lot of ghost employees?
Listen, us, there's already ghost employees. In fact, there's ghost students at NSFAS.
Are you serious?
What are you talking about? Like just recently, I think NSFAS was doing the whole crisis, and then they had like a whole what do you call it there? Like I don't want to say like a cleanup of things, or an audit or something like that. But I forgot the name, the word I actually wanted to use. But yeah, they found over 100 ghost students.
Wow. So
with this here, definitely we can. In our government, they always find ghost employees.
That time the unemployment rate is so high. There are people who actually need that, man.
Imagine.
Hi.
And these people are saying they've employed somebody. So it's kind of, that's just another way of looking at things, because me, I look at things differently. I ask questions.
Did you know that Tshwane actually accounts for 25% of Gauteng's 133 billion rand economy? So if you were to add 150,000 more jobs into that, it could be beneficial.
Interesting, eh?
Yeah, and also infrastructure and investment. I like the city of Tshwane, the way it's set up, in a lot of the parts of it. So it's nice to see that they're planning on like developing it even further. Because if you have 150,000 people who are now working, they also now putting money back into the city as well.
Apartments, rentals, and everything else are going to be good.
Yeah, because now people need to move closer to work and stuff. But at the same time, this is going to take place, they say, over a span of 40 to 50 years. So maybe the first jobs that will be created are those of the construction. And
you know what? This is a question that we can pose to Ishma just to hear how it's going to affect the motoring and racing industry as well, man. Because this is a huge leap. It's cars as well. So we're going to ask him the question when he comes in later on as well, man. But in the meantime, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of something there. It's the Bogart Morning Show. I trust that you're having a fantastic Wednesday. Sports Wednesdays is where you're at. The time is exactly 1:30. When we come back, Rob is up with some sports. Good morning.
Top of the morning from the sports desk. Let's dive into some of the sporting headlines making news this morning. Of course, our news coming out of the cricket SA is that our Proteas test coach Shukri Conrad has now emerged as a front runner to take over all of South Africa's senior men's national cricket following Rob Rota's resignation that was announced yesterday. Of course, Walter who had overseen the ODI and the T20 teams for the past 2 years, was expected to lead the Proteas through the 2027 World Cup on home soil. However, he stepped down with just 2 years remaining on his 4-year contract. And of course, our news coming out of Cricket South Africa is that our Rob Walter resigned due to personal reasons, although the pressure was mounting on the 49-year-old due to the bilateral series record outside of the major ICC tournaments. The former Titans coach also still resides in New Zealand with extensive travel between the two countries, placing a strain on his young family. Of course, he then came out and he said, listen, this cannot be the way of life. I need to take some time out to give my family some much needed attention. A very disappointing outcome in that regard, considering the major challenges ahead for South Africa as far as the T20 and as far as the T20 is concerned in the upcoming fixtures. Well, nonetheless, let's take a look at what's going on as far as Japan is concerned. Of course, the Japanese Grand Prix takes place this weekend, and just give you a quick insight as far as our weather forecast is concerned. Of course, the early Japanese weather forecast is already out with the cherry blossom season in full bloom. Of course, the drivers are set for cool conditions when they reach out at Suzuka. With, of course, a calm build-up to the weekend set to take place. The weather conditions could still set a different turn, although come race day, it might be a forecast that will align with all the drivers' perceptions or all the drivers' predictions as far as a good race day is concerned. The FP1 weather conditions in Japan are still due to stay dry and sunny, with the morning temperatures rising over and above 7 degrees and up to 14 degrees as far as the weekend is concerned. But of course, on race day, we're expecting quite I don't want to say dampy weather, but there will be a lot of sun throughout the course of Friday and Saturday. But on Sunday, there's forecasted rain for early parts of the morning. But that should, of course, dry out as our race day starts off on Sunday morning, South African time. Of course, it might be different wherever you are listening to, wherever you are watching from in the world. But nonetheless, the Formula One main event takes place on Sunday afternoon, as far as Sunday morning rather, as far as the Japanese Grand Prix is concerned. I'm going to give you some insight as far as our football results are concerned. Those festivity of football matches that took place yesterday, and I'll dive into as far as our Premier League matches are concerned. Of course, Arsenal keep their title hopes alive after a 2-1 victory against Fulham last night at the Emirates Stadium. Wolverhampton got the better of West Ham United with a 1-0 victory in that encounter. And of course, you might consider this as an April Fool's Day joke, but it's not the joke that you expected. Yes, Nottingham Forest got the 1-0 victory over Manchester United. Of course, Manchester United have not been doing well, and if anyone's being fooled this year, or if anyone's being fooled this season, it's definitely those of the Reds of Manchester United. Nonetheless, to dive in as far as our local football is concerned, or rather continental football is concerned, there were two African giants that were on display last night. As far as our local football is concerned, of course, we know the Buccaneers alongside the Masanda Wana were all in CAF Champions League matches last night. Of course, Sundowns played at home, so at Loftus Versfeld. There was a suggestion that came out from some parts of the country that the whole unemployment rate was out at Loftus Versfeld yesterday afternoon, with, of course, the early kickoff. Seeing the stadium quite packed, considering that many people were supposed to be at work, but the stadium was really, really packed to the rafters. That much ensured that the Sundowns came out with a 1-0 victory in that encounter. And then on the other side, Pirates, the Buccaneers, continue to sail on, as they also came out with a 1-0 victory last night against AS Alger, of course, the pride of Algeria last night. So both South African teams have now 1 foot in the semi-finals as far as the CAF Champions League is concerned. There's a lot more sports, a lot more football coming up throughout the course of the day, throughout the course of the evening, rather, as far as today is concerned, and other sporting headlines that I'll give you insight as well in my later bulletin, of course, at 10 o'clock and, of course, at 10:30 for that full bulletin. Until then, that's enough said.
I mean, we got to state the facts, man. I mean, we got to bring it down to real life. What happens, you know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Because if it's one company handling 150,000 jobs, guys, who's going to look over those? I can create my own department and say, hey, I got 6 people working here. At that time, there's nobody. Nobody.
Don't they, during audits and stuff, they need to see a paper trail?
No, don't worry. Ghost accounts or ghost people, they have paper trails. Everything is there. You just don't see the person.
Yes.
See, in fact, paper trails and everything else is the number one reason why ghost accounts are there. Because when you're up there, you just want to look at this paper and say, there's a paper like this, like that. But the actual person is not there.
And then because you can't keep track of 150,000 people.
Exactly.
Guys, I just saw something on Instagram. You know, like that kid that acts as young Sheldon Cooper?
Oh,
Yeah, that kid.
I was actually watching the new season yesterday.
He's in Cape
There's a new
Town.
season.
For real?
He's here in South Africa. Yeah.
What is he doing here, man?
He's here with Chloe Bailey for some
real?
reason.
They're hanging out.
It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense, bro.
Right? That's
Maybe
so
they're shooting
random.
something.
Like, you should have been here with the Teletubby or something. Like, the Chloe Bailey doesn't make sense, bro.
Maybe they're shooting something because you know these big movies they never tell you what's going on. You know what I mean? You just see the actors here, and then
Or they just might be enjoying life. You know, Cape Town just brings out the stars, man.
yeah, maybe you know.
Why can't Joburg be like that?
'Cause I remember this because I remember when they were shooting Avengers. I only knew after I was watching the movie. Like, wait, that day,
That's Jeppy.
that's my not Jimmy, that's my apartment because they were shooting it with my apartment,
Wait,
right by
what?
my apartment. And I was
How?
like, wait, that's what they were shooting. I was like,
That's
yeah,
dope, bro.
man,
That's dope.
that's really dope. That's really dope. You got something you want to touch on?
Yeah. You know, a lot of celebrities have been coming out and doing more of an outburst and saying, "Hey, listen, hey." Like, this whole celebrity thing is not what I signed up for. Scott Mapuma, of course, last week I think he
What
came
do
out
you
and
not sign up for?
he's like, no, listen, there's a lot of that's not what you know, he came out, it's like, there's a lot of unnecessary attention that he's now receiving that he was never ready for. The attention, of course, is coming out from fans. He says you can never walk into a mall, you can never go into a barber shop, you can never go into a retail store or a grocery store without being asked for a picture, without being asked for something, an autograph of some sort. But then, I mean, and then he's like, no, it's damaging. It's killing him mentally, psychologically. He can't cope. He doesn't.
He can't go to the mall.
He can't be himself. Yeah, he doesn't have access.
But that
to the
car
mall.
you bought and that whole house
Where
that you
did that
live in,
thing
that
come
rent
from?
that you're
Yeah.
paying, what do you think is coming from?
Who's subsidizing that?
Yeah,
thing?
who's subsidizing that? Guys,
You know,
come on.
and then it brought me to a question
Scott,
to
come
the
on.
reality of being a celebrity. And I think that's why in South Africa we never really have celebrity status. We never really consider anyone as a superstar until, of course, unfortunately, Super Mega had passed on. But there hasn't been anyone that has taken that stardom, that superstardom, and you think, I'm actually a star. I need to behave like a star. Because Scott Mapuma, at some point, he was being recognized as a fully fledged star, and he would have taken it to another level. But now you're coming out and you're putting out a statement saying, actually, I need space away from my fans. I need space. I need to be my own personal
You need
person.
to go into the mall and
Wow.
expect us not to just.
You know, that's why when you see other celebs in the mall, we just look at them like the normal people now, because you guys have already downgraded your celebrity status. So now we can't uplift you, we can't put you on this table, because now if we approach you, we don't know if you're going to react as a human being or you're going to react as a celeb. But you must be able to deal with it. I mean, it's the limelight you've gone into. It's going to shine on you forever and ever until you're under the limelight.
You know what I mean? Until you're out of the limelight.
There's one
which for him is going to be very close. Don't worry.
Oh, you think it's going dark very soon?
Nah,
I
come on,
won't say
bro.
that. Come on.
But anyways,
There's one
know-
that's really, relishing in the stardom, Tyler. Proper star. She'll be like, I am a celebrity.
yeah, that's a job.
Yeah, you need
know
to
what I'm
embrace
saying?
it.
She
Walk
takes
out
the
with
job
20 bodyguards.
seriously.
It's okay. We know
Yeah.
that's who you are. We appreciate that you understand your position in community. But now don't have a number one song in the country and still don't expect us to
It's
bow
your
down at your
job.
feet. Bro. Come on, bro. I mean,
You know what I mean? But speaking about that, I don't know how I feel about this, how you guys feel about it. But also, I saw as Jarvin of Mall of Africa mentioned this before. He was just walking. Nobody was taking pictures, but I think because I don't know whether he goes there relatively.
take him to Gateway. Things would it'll be different.
Yeah, I think it was the mall.
Newcastle. Take him. Yeah, it's the mall.
Because we just passed each other like, oh yeah, wait, what's good? We just know each
Yeah.
other like, yo, you are alone. Because in my head, I'm like, you're walking past by alone, and nobody's seems to be taking. Maybe he's already taken the pictures. We don't know. Maybe he's already done it. But
Sometimes certain neighborhoods have the local celebrity where they get used to you. We know that, oh, you live in the area. We're going to see you at Checkers and stuff like that a lot.
yes,
so they
yes,
tend to leave you alone because now we know that we're going to see you again.
There was the other one. What's his name? I think Baby Diaz. He was bearing a bread. He was carrying a loaf of Albany bread on. He was walking, and someone took a picture like, "Oh, these are celebrities carrying Albany bread." I'm like, bro, what do you expect the guy? What do you expect the
What do you
kids?
expect? They're not human beings.
Like,
They're
what
not
do you expect him
bread.
to do?
What bread must I eat now?
They want that full one. The one that's not sliced. That's the one. That's the one. That's
the one that's not
the one.
But they also eat quotas. It's necessary.
Exactly.
You know that bread is necessary, bro.
But do you guys think we are to blame for the lack of celebrity culture in South Africa, or
I don't think it's a lack of celebrity culture, because I used to see AKA in Bryanston, that's a spy in Bryanston all the times, and it's AKA, no bodyguards, no nothing. You know what I mean? And he used to do that. So
I think
it's that point that you're mentioning to say, look, I think when they see you in that area, you're always there, fine, sharp. They know, there you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But and you be like me in that area, obviously, yo, bro, can you take a picture? Can I get a picture, you know?
No, you're disturbing the peace now.
Yeah, of which he'll be cool with that. You know what I'm saying? But even as Javed that day, I've asked him to take a picture. We would have taken a picture.
Yeah.
But I've met him several times, so we work together. So he's like, okay, cool, sharp. You know? But yeah, it is what it is. But Scott, I mean, maybe you should call as Java to get some.
We also don't have the paparazzi culture that they have in America, where they're hounding the celebrities. I think that's also why the celebrities need all these bodyguards, and they become these sort of inaccessible people. I think South African celebrities are more accessible to us. You have a better chance of running into them.
And speaking about that, there's this culture. Just as soon as you have money, especially here in Mzansi, you get bodyguards. You want to be seen. The bodyguards are for you to be seen, but you're not even famous.
I'm for that. I think fake it until you make it. I'm definitely for the narrative. And like you mentioned now with Tyler. When Tyler was at Mall of Africa, she had
Tyler,
15 bodyguards. 15, bro. Come on, bro. Scott Makuma should have at least 2 bodyguards.
She's got an album out. She's trying to make a scene. They probably told her like, look, let's have 15 bodyguards. Let's overdo it so that that people can go.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Do those things. Pull those gimmicks.
But there's just people with money. You live in waterfalls. Now you got bodyguards. Now you're causing traffic with your motorcade. Like, bro, we don't want anything from you. Or even the Pakistanis, they don't want to kidnap you.
You know what? As an ordinary everyday person, I would want to hire a bodyguard for like girls' night out. Like me and my girls, we hire 2 bodyguards. Your job is to watch us while we are drunk, living our best life.
Mother, isn't it the point of girls' night out is to interact with other?
As a woman in South Africa.
Or you want to create a barricade?
We don't know what
What do you mean you don't know what?
Ronnie,
don't open that can of worms, especially in today's climate. #justice for Kwekwe. When a woman says, "I need a bodyguard," I'll feel safe if we have bodyguards as girls' night, so we can dress skimpy, have our legs out, be drunk, have fun. We don't have to worry about someone's gonna grab me, someone's gonna bother me. When last was I booked? When was it other time? A couple of weeks ago.
Right. Okay. So you think all those girls in there, you think they wanted bodyguards? The ones you saw?
No, not all of them.
Exactly.
Now somebody's trying to send you a bottle of champagne. Now there's a bodyguard.
Now there's a bodyguard thing.
How much champagne arrive now?
How? He's not going to tell me that, ma'am, here's a bottle.
See that bodyguard, like, there's no champagne going to
This is not 1998, okay? Please.
I was 2 years old in 1998. I don't understand the point you're trying to make.
No, it operates differently now. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's go to the news, guys. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to the news and see what's happening here. Right. All right, cool. It's time for the news wrap, where we let you know what's happening across the world and locally. First on our list, like Feroza said, the thousands of demonstrators took to the streets in Cape Town now, joining the nationwide shutdown of education department offices to demand justice for the 7-year-old Kwekwe, who was allegedly essayed at her school in October last year.
Yeah, the
I'm so surprised that this story was in October last year.
You know, it actually became a race thing now also, because South Africans have started noticing that there's a clear couple of races that are missing in those marches.
Yeah, but I mean, also let's not racially attain this.
It's the conversation that's
there's already a story. Like people, there's already a story that we're trying to outline now.
Where are we in Pretoria? There, when the farmers are there in the embassy, where are we?
Exactly. Thank you. You know what I'm saying?
They also took it out to, like, for example, justice for Uyinene. They said that, okay, for her there was a bit more diversity, but why is there not as much diversity for? Like, people are literally making it a race thing, and then on the other hand, there are those.
Nene went to a model C school. She went to a private school where there were majority of white kids in that school. When the MEC of education was there, you could see in the background there were more white kids walking in the background than there were in the Eastern Cape. So we can't make this a racial thing. If it needs to be a racial thing, other black farmers must go in Pretoria as well. They must join those farmers there. They must make it a racial thing. You know, I think this thing of picking sides when it comes to these kind of situations, we need to avoid that, because more specifically, this is a social. It's a social issue. It's not a racial thing. So in the society that Utrecht was based in, majority of the people there are black people. So we can't expect a white person to go there and start marching for just for Utrecht.
They're discussing the locations of the marches. Some of them are happening in Cape Town, others are happening in Germany. Johannesburg, like Braamfontein, there was one. So there are areas that are accessible. So people are saying we should be a bit more of a united front as a country.
Sure.
And you know what? There is clear evidence that we can do that as well. With the likes of the Springboks coming together. I mean, there's lots of clear evidence that we can do it.
But I think
just that in some cases,
to not be bluntly about this, I think it's the problem is if you look at another race, they'll sit down and think, this is actually a African problem. It's actually a black problem. Why do we need to get involved in it? It's an unsung approach to it. But there's no way you can have somebody in a suburban you can have a white person in the community thinking, hey, actually let me go join this march because this directly affects me. It does not directly affect a white person. These issues, and it's very sad to say it, but issues of sexual assault, issue of domestic abuse, always reside within the black community. So why would a white person think, actually, this is my problem? Let me go fight for this problem? Because they know in their own community these things don't arise. Or even if it does, it's not as common as it is within the black communities, where every day on a daily basis a black woman is being abused or black woman is being sexually assaulted. In a white community, it's like once in a Springbok World Cup victory. Bro.
By saying does that actually exclude the white female victims who are actually victimized?
No, definitely it does not exclude them.
No, it doesn't exclude them.
But
in the community that you're in, it's very hard. You see it every day. Than the community
that they are in.
Where they are in. So for them, if this thing happened once, you're gonna okay, could you be chilled about it? But it keeps happening every day and you're seeing it. You're gonna have a different reaction to it than them. Them is probably hear it.
So we desensitized to it.
Yeah, it happens. So you'll be angry because this is people are fed up, and those particular group of people are fed up of it. Because they keep seeing it. For them, it's a surprise. Like, oh, this is still happening. We know it happened, but we didn't know it happened at this magnitude. Okay. That's pretty much what Rob is trying to say here, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And realistically, you have a white person that they'll have their own struggles where we need to fight for our land, we need to fight for the farms, and then we come on to the black community where our struggles are, we need sanitary pads, we need to stop abuse, we need to stop domestic abuse. And if you put the two on the scale and say whose problem is actually more prevalent, whose problem is actually more common, it'll be it'll be on the African side. The problems exist a lot more common compared to the white people.
No, that to actually think about it, it's the black schools, they're the ones who don't even have the toilet. They're having issue with the toilets for children, and I don't think the white schools have that same problem. Even I don't even think there's even one.
You can't name one single school that has what you call those toilets.
Toilets.
And now you can't expect the parents to march against that toilet situation when their child doesn't experience it, when their child's friend also doesn't experience. So it doesn't exist in their world.
And then also that
those are issues are there, but it's only for us as the black people. We're like, no, but my niece in Eastern Cape is going to a school like this. It's affecting you directly.
You see, and that mentality also spreads out to different parts of society where it's like, it's not my problem, so I'm not gonna try and help you fix your problem.
No, but that's not. I don't think that's the energy was just there. To be honest with you, I just think that it just doesn't affect them.
So they feel that it's none of my business because it doesn't directly affect me.
No,
so
they can't march for it because they have no understanding of it. That's what I'm trying to say. I think that's a clear way, right?
I think
you can't march for something that you truly don't understand.
Like yesterday on my way home, there was a strike. There was a strike on the M1. It was about 20 people striking.
Okay.
From the MK party on the freeway. So now this
literally on the
middle of the freeway. But as you approach Kola Drive, so I'm approaching there, and
you could die.
There's cops. They were accompanied by police.
Oh.
It was an official strike. They were accompanied by police, but there's about 20 of them. All those 20 people have now caused a standstill on possibly one of the biggest roads in South Africa on prime time. Why are you doing that on the public road? I mean, why don't we know you want to strike. We recognize the purpose of your strike, but does it have to inconvenience everybody else that does not know what's going on, what you're striking for? I think which is where the point is coming off from, where, we know that these issues exist in South Africa, but are those issues directly affecting the person that you're calling to come in and to strike for it? I'm not just going to come up now and I see there's a strike happening on the road and I don't know where, let me go join that strike because they're striking for Mang Mang. It does not affect me directly. And I think that's where some parts of the country are thinking, hey, actually, these are not our issues. These are South African issues, but how does it affect my micro environment? It's a macro environment issue, but not affect my environment directly.
It's like marching for, the VAT increase. You know, it affects you, but sometimes you don't. If it doesn't affect you, the normal person who's in the car seat or wherever it is, mostly it affects the middle class and the other higher class, which is the rich people. But the lower guys, they don't really understand because it doesn't really affect them, you know, in a way. Because
like now the petrol price has gone up, and we call a strike to go. We call a national strike. Some people don't even have cards. They're not even concerned about petrol.
They're not concerned about it.
Why must they go and strike?
But it still affects them in a way. So I think that's what this is. You know, so the people should stop make this a racial thing and make it what it is about. You know, these guys getting these perpetrators to be arrested.
In other news, speaking of the government, Parliament will vote on the implementation of the national budget today.
A lot of crying, along with big cries for this. Of course, a lot of people, most of the DA are totally against this budget that will be included today, rather introduced today. We'll see how that unfolds. A lot of people are really against this, but yeah, let's see how it goes. Of course, the DA also announced that they will reject the budget due to the process of due to the proposed 0.5% increase as far as VAT is concerned. So today we'll definitely know if this budget will be passed through or not.
I'm not sure if it's the AFF. They've also signed a petition and wrote to the ANC, if I'm not mistaken, to actually not include that in today's budget speech because the 0.5 is it's an issue. It's an issue, yeah. But speaking about numbers, SARS has paid a record about 44 billion in refunds to the taxpayer during the 2024-2025 financial year.
I was not one of them.
44 billion divided by 60 million.
Thing.
How much do you think that is? Well, it can't be 60 million, but hypothetically speaking.
No, it's not 60 million. It's about it's about 1 million people. Trust me.
1 million taxpayers? No, come on, bro.
Taxpayers.
There's a lot more taxpayers in South Africa.
You have I think
that? I think past the halfway mark, past 30 million at least. This economy would not sustain itself without at least 30 million people paying tax.
No, there's people who are paying tax, and then there's people who register to actually do their financials. It's two different things, guys. You might be paying the tax, but you know, paperwork, those papers, as simple as they are, they're very confusing sometimes to even register. That's why we had what's her name from KB and Paul explain to us. And even though she was explaining to us, it sounded like it was rocket science, but it's not.
Anyway, the electricity minister says that it will expropriate privately owned land and compensate the owners to expand Eskom's infrastructure over the next few years.
Let's see how that goes. Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition, Parks Tau, will request meetings with the US officials to discuss their government's planned 25% import tariffs on SA vehicles.
I think that will help actually, because the tariffs, and also there's something about...
Is it our tariffs or theirs? Because I know Donald Trump wants to charge hectic tariffs.
Not quite sure there. But yeah, man. So South Africans took forward to the substantial fuel pricing savings from today, with both petrol and diesel decreased prices officially confirmed by the Department of Mineral and Resources and Energy.
That's good news. They just didn't tell us how much. I got
this news yesterday, but I was on E. But I was just like, you know what, it's okay. Let me just go pour my food tank.
You didn't fight it.
I didn't fight it nicely. I'm no longer excited. I'm no longer excited about it. It's just...
Would you ever be excited?
They say 58 cents, huh? They say 58 cents, yes, exactly. In my mind, I'm looking at the garage. I'm tired, but I'm like, I started calculating 58. I got 30 liters. But it's not worth it. Let me go.
There are actually certain petrol stations that give you more mileage for your coins, as far as petrol is concerned. Is it?
Yeah.
Because I remember I went to one of these. I think one of these newly established energy. I think it was Astro Energy. Yeah. I poured quite a significant amount, and I drove, but the gauge wasn't moving up. I'm like, hey, but is this petrol in my car or what? I drove back to the garage and my chief, where is this petrol? Because I don't ask for receipts normally. But I went back to my chief. Can I see that receipt there? Do you put petrol in my car? Or do you put water in this car? Literally, I drove for an hour until the gauge eventually moved. And I'm like, okay, fine.
You'll be concerned, Joe. Yeah. These are very serious matters.
Anyway, the city of Tshwane revealed plans to build Africa's largest automotive assembly precinct in Roslyn, creating over 150,000 jobs.
And then in other news, United States President Donald Trump has mobilized multiple teams to convert commercial office space in Pretoria into emergency refugee centers for thousands of white Afrikaners.
Yeah, hey?
He's engendering himself in our country. We are the next Iraq, I'm telling you.
Is that principal from that school Eastern Cape?
Well, you think
should also,
he must go there.
You also must send a petition. He must also register.
Yeah, actually the whole country hates him, so he should leave.
Must register. He should just leave. We're okay with it.
Yeah.
One less person, we're okay with it.
Yeah.